What's up, team? Hopefully, you've had a little bit of time to recapture some of that sleep and rest from last weekend, last 2 weeks, all of student camps. My email inbox has been full of different parents or different conversations of people who have just been so thankful of our church, of what God is doing in their students' life, of what our team did or what you as leaders influenced our other dream team leaders to do as well. And I'm really proud of each of you, proud of our church, thankful that we get to make this investment. Today, Jason Jones pulled me aside and shared with me an email that he got from Ashendo, where this individual just basically said, I've been on the activities team for a while, and this time they were on the group coordinator side. And his experience, not just of our staff, but of our dream team, like our culture, was that we're organized, but we're also easy to work with. We work with their team. We want to be better together. It's also cool when they feel cared for by our staff. I think his one line it was, "You all are so kind, to be honest." His line was, "You all were so kind to us that, to be honest, our staff really needed. And we're so used to caring for so many groups. Not many try to care for us back." And so hats off to you, Spencer, and to the student team who worked really hard to make sure that Camp Mashendo knows that they matter to us too. And so, man, thankful for those things. This weekend, I'm excited because we are going to be experiencing 3 and 30, which is 3 different communicators giving about 10-minute talks each. And I think this is one of those fun weekends where our church gets to see a little bit of the development process and gets an early look at people who are growing in their leadership, but also growing in their capacity to communicate. Now, this doesn't mean if you're in 3 and 30, then you'll be speaking at the weekend stage, at some point at a standalone weekend of your own. But this is a place where we like to develop the skills for that. And so we have 2 individuals who will be streamed from Perrysburg. And then we have individuals at each of our campuses to give a little bit of a campus connection that will be the third in that lineup. And so I'm really excited for our church to see all of that. And if you know somebody who's speaking, I'm sure they're going to be nervous. I know we have Serve Day on Saturday, which is going to be a blast. They're going to be thinking about their message on Sunday. But my encouragement to you is to pray for them, encourage them, support them all along the way. And this is another one of those take growth personally and, better together that I think makes Cedar Creek a special place. The one leadership nugget that I want to leave with you is actually a little bit of a preview of Craig Groeschel's talk at the upcoming Global Leadership Summit. Craig is going to talk about how good leadership is boring, which sounds weird because when you think about leadership, it's like taking the next hill, casting vision, all of this like type A type stuff. But the truth is, good leadership is boring. You're the chief reminding officer. You have to keep casting vision around why it is that what we're doing is like important or valuable or purposeful. And you have to remind people of their value in that part. And when we just assume that they know it, that's when things start to fall apart. And so my encouragement to you in the midst of the summer, as we start to think about, what is it, like 7 weeks until we go to 3 services? My encouragement to you is to not lose sight of the fact that actually good leadership is boring. I need to be reminded of this, that really you keep coming back to your team and the people that you influence with some of the same things over and over again. And this metaphor isn't perfect, but I think it is helpful to remember that leading teams is kind of like parenting kids. You're basically repeating the same kind of values over and over again. And as time goes on, they start to pick those things up. But even I need to be reminded, of the things that of the fundamentals of leadership that are really important. Casting vision, caring for your people, meeting one-on-one, challenging them to take a new step, reminding them of the boundaries and the values that keep us on track. And so if you're feeling like leadership is a little boring, or maybe if you've forgotten the fundamentals, this is a great time, especially with the summit coming back up, to go, oh yeah, This is normal. Just because you're having to remind people of the same thing over and over doesn't mean you're a bad leader. It might actually mean you're a good leader. Or if you haven't reminded people in a while, maybe it's time to get back to some of the good old fundamentals of leadership in that process. So that's my encouragement to you, is to not be discouraged when leadership feels a little boring. And then the last little thing that I'll give you is a musical artist that is going to be featured at the Global Leadership Summit, and we're probably going to use this music video at some point. His name is Walker Hayes. He's kind of a country rock type singer, but he, in song form, wrote about his experience showing up to church even though he wasn't really a church guy. So if you have about 3 minutes, I'd encourage you to listen to this song and let it remind you as to why what we do is so important. Thanks.